Hi, I'm Adam from Watford Opinions on Instagram, and well, today's match was definitely a game of two halves. We started off the first half really strong, obviously by getting that goal. Ben Wilmot opening a scoring account for Watford, and I feel we were the stronger team for most of the first half. Yes, QPR did have their chances, but we looked really threatening and were unfortunate not to go up by multiple goals. Troost-Ekong had a good header opportunity soon after Wilmot's goal. Sarr had a one-on-one, which he probably should have scored. But the first half, it was definitely our half. We were the better team. 1-0, I think, is a flattering scoreline for both teams' defenses, if I have to be completely honest. But the first half was definitely strong. We had a tactical switch. We did a 5-2-3, which seemed to be really working. But the one slight drawback from with the 5-2-3, which we saw earlier in the season, was we lacked a bit of control in the midfield. It works better now because we had Capoue back. And Chalobah did put in a really good shift as well in the first half. But we still lacked a bit of the control in the midfield, and I think that's what played into Ivic's halftime tactical switch and substitutions. Maybe a bit of it was also for rest purposes. But in the second half, we went to a 5-3-2, which Ilias would have hoped would have just led us to solidifying the midfield more. But, I mean, the midfield did get a bit more solidified, but then QPR just realized they would attack more and more down our flanks, and that's what got us undone ultimately. Also, we had no attacking threat in the second half at all, even by just bringing back one player from the attack into the midfield by subbing out Pedro and Gray for Dini and Kina. That's two forwards out for one forward and one midfielder. We had no attacking threat at all. Having Sarr play centrally in his sort of dual wing role where he's a forward but he goes out to either wing, it didn't really work in the second half. He was a lot better in the first half when he was just on his natural right wing position, which is where we need him to be. We need him to be in his natural position to get the most out of him. So the second half, it definitely was a lot worse. We had hardly any possession in QPR's defensive half. They were coming down their throats the entire time, and I mean, Watford did not deserve to win at all. The first half, maybe they would have wanted to go up by more goals. So maybe you could say, well, if Watford were 2 or 3-0 up, then they would have won, which, yes, they would have. But the second half performance was not a winning performance, and a draw is fair, I'd say. It's a tale of two halves, and what has to be the focus is the tactics, because Watford, no doubt, have one of the best squads in the league, player for player. We don't have a lack of goals when it comes to individual talent between Sarr, Pedro, Gray, Dini, Sema assisting, Stipe Perica. We have so many goal scorers on the team, and it's concerning that we don't really get those goals. Yes, we've now scored 7 goals in our past 3 matches, but 1 goal in the second minute from a center back and set piece. We can't be relying on that every game to get points. What I personally think, I've been saying this since the start of the season, is I really want to see a 4-3-3, because we have the control in the midfield with 3 midfielders by doing a 4-3-3, and we don't have to sacrifice a player in the attack. Defensively, it might be a bit different or a bit harder without Messina, which is probably why Ilias hasn't been doing it, even though he's been known to do it, a 4-3-3 in Israel when he was a manager there. But I just think the focus does have to be the tactics. Again, the manager probably knows more than the fans. That's why he's getting paid the money to do it. But I think many fans now, they really want to see the 4-3-3 even before Messina can come back, which he is supposed to come back within the next month, which is definitely good news. But it seems like we either have good attack but sacrifice the midfield, or good midfield but sacrifice the attack, and we have to find the balance. And I think we get that from the 4-3-3. I think the season, I wouldn't be concerned about this result in terms of, we don't have what it takes to be promoted. I just think the tactics really have to be thought about, and it's another reality check. It's showing, nothing's going to be a walk in the park. Yes, going into a match against QPR, we think we should be winning that match, but there's no given match in the championship. We've learned that multiple times already, and I'm sure we'll learn that many times more this season. But after coming in from the international break with some tired legs in defense, a draw away from home is never terrible, but it definitely could have been better. Thank you.
Hi there, it's Brendan from Watford FC, the Netherlands Dutch Hornets. Please make sure you follow us, and as well the Belgium Hornet. Please do it. We have seen the game against QPR away on Lotterfus Road. It's not the name now, but I still call it Lotterfus Road. Where to start with? What a start of the game. Great chances from both teams. Great save from Ben. As Robert say, in the half-time review, what I say was it maybe one of the greatest in the EFL Championship. You know what, we score very soon in the game. That's what I love to see, attacking football from the first minute. And at that moment I thought, okay, we can make 2, 3 or 4 in that first half. What a back chances we got. I think if we been faster, when we get the ball, directly shoot, or don't take too much time when we are for the goal, try to make a goal directly. And when we shot, it was a deflection by some defenders of QPR. 1-0 in front at half time. It was like we must have been 3-0 in front at half time. We didn't score. Then you know the home team QPR coming in, try to make it 1-1, maybe try to win the game as well. Luckily for us, I think it's the 1-1. It's come very late in the game, 77 minutes. I think that's what helped us to not lose that game, because if it fall just after the whistle, may QPR make 1-1 in the 50 minutes, and in the 55 minutes it can be 2-1. I think it was a typical championship game. We're not top of the league. Bournemouth did very well against Reading. We still have 22 points, 5th place. I think if we win midweek games, if we win, that will be great. You know, take 3 points again, get the momentum. You see that a international break not helping us today in that second half. Changes were there. I don't know if Vladimir does it well, but you know what? If he does well, if we win, he does well. If we take 1 point here, lots of people will say he doesn't well. So that's that's unlucky to say, but I think he did well. In my opinion, you need to control the game. We did in the first half, but after that whistle in the second half, QPR smell the bloods and think, okay, we need to make a point or 3 from this game. We get not great chances in that second half. They did with even the hands of gold. Wow, what a mistake by that striker from QPR to try it with his hand like this. Oh, come on. So luckily for us, to be honest, the referee saw it and the linesman saw it as well. Otherwise, we will have lost this game on a handball goal. That will be awful. So yeah, not 3 points. We got 1 point. Against QPR, they were not in their best side this season so far. We're on the 5th place. We need to get on, maybe take 3 points midweek. So thanks for watching my review. Stay or watch other reviews and watch my interview. Thanks for having me again, and follow the Watford way. Cheers.
It is full time and it's QPR 1, Watford 1. So annoying. We had to withstand so much pressure, and we really do need to sort out our away form. Like, it's just not good. Like, we're so inconsistent in these games, and it's always with us a game of 2 halves. We'll either start poorly and then find a way to bring it back in the second half, or start quite well, maybe only get 1 goal and then get pegged back. And you know, in a way it was a reflection of that Wickham game, going ahead and then getting pegged back. But the difference was we went ahead through Ben Wilmot very, very early on, and it was a good goal. You know, Ken Sema's been the assist king this season, and he does it again from the corner. But there it is, Ben Wilmot, his first Watford goal, and sums up what's been a brilliant week for him, scoring for the England under-21s, which was amazing as well. But now, yeah, just really good alert in the box. It came to him and he just prodded it past the goalie. So instinctive stuff, really. But after that, QPR, they grew into the game and we started to not have many chances. QPR had the odd good chance, especially that header that they put wide. But also, there was that really, really big chance for the ex-academy player, that is Dominic Ball, and he had a shot. It was well blocked by Cathcart, and then it bounced down under the calf of Cathcart, deceiving Foster, who was right behind it, but it didn't look like it was going to go in one place and it went the other. And Foster got a hand out, saved it. Brilliant, brilliant save to keep us in it. But we really did have a few good chances in that game, and the one that really does come to mind was that Ekong header in the first half that he missed, where he's really got a free chance, nobody's picking him up, and he's just not really got his angle right to face the goal properly. But yeah, second half was where it all went downhill, really. You know, we probably should have killed it off a bit more in that first half to not let them get back into it in the second, but we were just far too sluggish, far too slow in our build-up, and also in our midfield. You know, in the first half, I thought Capoue dictated it, really got stuck in, and Chalobah had a decent first half in his 100th appearance. Well done to him. But, you know, going forward, we were pretty good, quite sharp in the first half. Second half, we just were too hesitant, and we let QPR take the ball off us. And really, it was just so disappointing. But QPR had that big chance with the header for Masterton, and he hit the crossbar. So that's a stroke of luck. It was one of those ones, you whipped the ball in, and you thought, surely it's going to be overhit, but he did get there at the back post and just clipped the top of the bar. But really, Foster didn't have a lot to do. Neither did their goalkeeper, and that was the worrying thing in that second half. We just really went off the boil in terms of going forward. But you've got to say, in that first 20 minutes of the second half, we were under the cosh and getting peppered, which with, you know, QPR possession, they had the much better chances, and eventually the pressure told. But it was just one of those things. We were holding on to the game and we lost control of it. We didn't have much control in the first half, but at least we were creating a few chances, and, you know, that goal for Wilmot was well made. You know, in the first half, I was just thinking, you know, Kiko Femenia had so much space to exploit, and obviously there was that big chance for Andre Gray where it just dribbled wide after the save. If we'd have just made a bit more of that space that Femenia had, and the balls that got whipped into the players, we took those balls and made goals from it, and then killed it off in that first half, we wouldn't have been sitting here now contemplating on a 1-1 draw. It's really annoying, but in the end, we did find, we did concede, and you've got to be saying that in that game we could have lost it, because they got the second. But first, they got the goal through Ilias Chair, who slotted it home, and I'm not sure who it was that passed it to Ilias Chair, but it was basically a very nice pass inwards, and just very well slotted between our centre-backs, and you knew from the minute the pass had been made, he just set it out on the wide area, and Chair was in, and he just slotted it home, past Foster, and that was a kick in the teeth, really. But you've got to say, it was probably deserved. QPR did play well in that second half, but it's annoying, and, you know, Chalobah got away with it, pulling the shirt 2 times, and it could have been a penalty, and they scored, but it was given as a handball. So I'll take the point, but it was a game that I really did want to win.